when the holidays were coming around, I wanted everyone to know that I was wearing this thing on my chest, and I wasn't just wearing, I was wearing it proudly. Yes, I did these things, and yes, watch me make it right. I don't care about what I did. What's important is what I'm going to do. There is hope. There is hope that you can repair relationships, but guess what? Nothing gets better if you just do nothing. Welcome back to another episode of Till the Wheels Fall Off. I am Matt.
I'm Paige.
We've covered accountability before, but it's going to be different this time. Around the holidays, there's this situation that comes up in a lot of people's lives where you're not exactly extended invites to parties the way you used to be. Or if you are, sometimes it's just incredibly awkward. Because let's be real, the stuff that happens inside of your home leaks out of your home and people find out about it. And it causes chaos. It causes hurt feelings. It can be really tough to navigate. Yes, we are talking about when your spouse or partner has done something in your life that has affected other people around them, and there's been no discussion around it. So when the holidays come around, what are you going to do? Just invite them over like it's no big deal? Then everyone's going to get to deal with this awkwardness? It can get tense. So we're going to discuss it today. I'm going to give some actionable solutions for people. If you're on the other side of this, like I was, if you were someone that has made mistakes in addiction, I can help you make that right. Paige has got some awesome solutions for what partners and spouses can do if they don't get that chance. If someone's unwilling or just maybe they're not even around to do something like that, what can you do? Let's get some housekeeping out of the way first. First things first, our website, twfo.com is where you can find out everything that you need to know about us. If you wanted to schedule a session with us to work one-on-one, if you wanted to get some merch, which we've got some awesome merch. Neither of us are wearing it right now.
No, I'm not.
We are terrible hosts.
We've got
stickers. Okay, we did get that in the shot at least. We've got new merch available on our website. Bunch of crew necks, different colors, stickers, recovery rocks. Yeah, these are cool. Check this out. This is a rock. This is a way to, see that? This is a way to acknowledge a spouse or partner's journey. Someone that's been with you through the thick of it, through hell and back. Guys like me, we get like tokens and coins and ticker tape parades whenever we get better.
And lots of praise.
Yeah, lots of praise. Spouses and partners don't get a lot of recognition. People don't understand what it's like to go through this. Here's a cool way that you can show appreciation. On the front, it's got our logo. On the back, it says, "Thank you for being my rock." Those are available on the website. I think we've got a few left and a new shipment coming in soon as well.
I think that's one of our number one bestsellers.
Which I love to see, honestly.
I know, me too. I love that. That means that people are doing the work. That's fucking awesome.
It's a cool way to support the show. Another cool way to support the show, we've got a Patreon account. If you wanted to support us, there's 2 tiers of that. There's another one where if you wanted to do a live Q&A with us, that's optional too. We'll hop on with whoever joins at that tier, and once a month, we'll sit down and answer questions as best we can. We've also got a free community, a Facebook community called TWFO Community. It's TWFO Community. You can find that on our website. We've also built a course. Paige and I built a course. When we first started the show, we didn't know what it was going to be exactly. We knew we had a story to tell, but without realizing it, and you've probably been like this in your own life as well, you've done a ton of things without recognizing how big that was, how important that was, and how helpful that could be to other people. So we packaged our lives into a course to teach people how to deal with this situation. Whether you stay or go, it does not matter. The course is for you. If you send me an email and say, "I'm in this situation, is it for me?" The answer is yes, it's for you. It's for you, absolutely, because it teaches you life tools. If you need to know how to set boundaries better, it teaches you how to do that.
Help you find your worth.
Find your worth. If you need to know how to take care of yourself again, if you need to know how to detach from a situation, if you want to learn more about addiction, it's not just us either. It's not just us that built this. We partnered with a licensed therapist to help build this thing. It's got a clinical perspective in it. It's lengthy too. It's not like you're going to buy this thing and be like, "Oh my God, that's it." No, I challenge you to finish this thing in 2 months. Challenge you, because you probably won't, because it's that in depth. It is that serious. It's
self-paced though. We don't force you to do things quickly.
No.
And you also get a community call with others that are going through a similar thing each week.
Weekly you get a call with other people in the course who are working toward growth. That's the thing. We can't just show up every week and feel validated and vent and do nothing, right? Learning is changing your behavior. Learning isn't just listening. That's different. That's just taking in information. Learning is changing behavior. So that's what we're aiming to do.
Get that wisdom.
So many people have been helped by this thing. Over 100 people have taken this thing and their lives are better because of it. We would love for you to join us. You can get 75% off using the code Wheelies75. It's Wheelies75. You can find the link on our website to get to that course, or just go to independentlystrong.com to get a direct access link to it. Also,
hold on. I think we just hit a year on it.
Did we really?
I think so. We released it last December.
You're right. Hey, happy anniversary. Happy birthday, Independently Strong. Cool. Really cool. I had something else. Hang on there. This is an important one. If you're a listener and you know someone in the Dallas, Texas area who understands videography, photography, who can edit, please get in touch with me. We have an opportunity available. We are looking to up our content. So it's not just a camera and us sitting here. We're going to have multiple shots and beautiful edits and a nice set and everything else. And I need someone's help to do that. If you know of anyone, send me your information. Email me, matt@twofocouple.com. That's matt@twfocouple.com. I would love to talk to you. There's certainly an opportunity there for growth. Last thing. Hey, we've got a sponsor for today's show. Thank you to SoberLink. SoberLink has been awesome. They've been a partner now for
a few months, couple months.
3 months. 3 months. They reached out to us, and we've always been very protective of the things that we promote here. That's why you don't hear a lot of sponsorships, because we said from the very beginning, if it's not a company that shares our values and it's not someone that we believe in and someone that we really would use, we're not interested. And we've turned down more opportunities than I can count for things that just didn't align. But SoberLink absolutely aligns. They have told us, like, you say what you need to say, get across to your audience, just let them know that this thing exists and it could be really helpful for them. And it absolutely can. If you don't know what it is, think of it like the world's most high-tech breathalyzer. The breathalyzer is something that we've been on the record saying, good, bad, unsure, but I think in used the right way, it can be a really valuable tool for you. So SoberLink built this thing that's basically, it's tamper-proof, right? You can't get around trying to screw with the results. It also uses military-grade facial recognition technology. So when you pick this thing up and blow in it, you can't cheat it. You can't have your buddy do it. You can't.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's incredibly fancy. It's incredibly high tech, and it has instant results. The cool thing about the results is that they're sent to a group of people of your own choosing. If you are trying to prove sobriety, this is something I think ought to be voluntary. You come to your family and say, listen, I'm serious this time, and I'll prove it to you.
Let me prove it. Yeah.
And so you put your marriage counselor on the list, you put your friends on the list, you put your spouse on the list, maybe some sober companions on the list. And every time you blow, they get an alert that says, hey, Mark or Jason or Jack or Mary or whoever is sober right now. They are living by their word. They are walking the walk. They are doing what they said that they would do. And it's really, really awesome. Another cool way that this is used, and I think probably the most important way, is if you're in a custody battle with somebody, there's no other way that I would do it without having this written in the agreement. Now, it is court admissible in all 50 states and in Canada, trusted by over 200,000 people, and is the preferred choice of courts everywhere. This is the product you want to use if you are in a custody battle. Listen, we have kids. You might have kids. Your kids are probably the most important thing in your entire life. Don't you want to know that they're going somewhere where there is a sober adult around, making sure that they're safe and that they're okay? It's one of the scariest things. And so many people stay in relationships because they're scared. What happens to the kids? I'm sticking around at this point just so he doesn't run off and drive drunk with them or something like that. Like SoberLink can help you get around that. And it gives you comprehensive reports. And listen, like, they are not on one side or the other. They are a company that is interested in providing excellent data. That is their business, is providing great data. Data that you can trust, data you can rely on when sobriety matters. And SoberLink has been generous enough to give our listeners $50 off a device by going to soberlink.com/wheels. Again, that's soberlink.com/wheels. So thank you to SoberLink. I think that's all we've got.
I think so.
All right. Let's get it. Okay.
Dang, I hope that wasn't loud in your ears, because it sure as hell was loud in mine.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's been a minute since you and I have actually had a conversation on the podcast, just the two of us.
Yeah, we've had some awesome guests here lately.
Yes, we have.
Something we're going to work in more often, but not to the point where you lose what you've loved about the show, which is just us talking. Mm-hmm. We're just going to add people that we think can add value to the conversations as we go, which means that we're not going to bring on just anyone. If we think it's someone who's got a message that's important that could be helpful to you, and it's a conversation that we want to have personally, then we're going to have it. But if not, it's going to be more of this.
Yep.
Just hopefully more camera work. Please reach out to me. I'm dying over here. Struggling. Oh, you know what? Shout out to somebody actually that's been incredibly helpful to me. Matt Freites is a friend of mine. I don't think he cares if I use his whole name. He's a creator as well. What?
Now you're gonna have to ask him. See if we gotta edit that out.
He's just gonna deal with it, man. But he's a creator as well, and he has been a friend to me. He's been
so helpful,
a mentor to me in so many ways with audio and video, because like you want to have a message and get something across, but you don't realize how much goes into this, like audio production and video production. I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And so he has been incredibly helpful to me, and I'm going to pull up his channel, show you guys what that looks like, because I want you to go support him. Listen, he does different stuff than we do. But listen, he's got a YouTube channel called Fire Footwear. He makes some amazing high quality content. Like this guy's camera work is just insane. I'm showing the camera here. There you are, Matt. There he is. His beautiful face.
He's got a great voice too.
Incredible voice, great podcaster. If you know anyone who's into sneakers or footwear, please go check out, subscribe to his channel, show him some love, because he shows us love and in a way shows you guys love too by helping us out. So shout out to him. Thank you so much, Matt.
Matt's got this. Matt, my Matt has got huge goals when it comes to the way he wants this to look and feel. And
stick with me. I promise you it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's going to be stuff you can't turn away from. It's going to be amazing.
He's the super creative one here.
You just get to show up and talk.
Yeah.
All right. And
about my life.
And talk we will do today.
Okay.
So this all started because I see this come across a lot this time of year. There will be a message from someone, generally in the community, or sometimes it's an email, or sometimes it's a DM. And someone will be asking the question, how do I handle this scenario or this situation where my loved one isn't exactly welcome and my family doesn't really want them there, and I don't know how to approach this. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what to say. What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing? And there's variations of that too. Sometimes it's that your family may not want them there. Sometimes it's that your loved one doesn't want to be there because he feels like, or she feels like they're not part of that inner circle. Mm-hmm. Like things have been said maybe, or news has gotten out and they're not sure how they're perceived anymore.
Right. Maybe, so they'd rather just hide and not be be a part of it.
Yeah. Maybe you've confided in your family because you're close, that's your family, and they know more than maybe someone would like for them to. And that's another situation that can kind of pop up. Or maybe someone's just away and,
let's just be real. These situations are messy. They're messy.
They're
so messy. And the holidays make it even more difficult because we put so much pressure on ourselves to make the holidays a certain way and, get-togethers and things like that. So it's messy. It's really complicated.
Yeah. And there's so much about, like, listen, I love Christmas and the holidays. Let's just say the holidays. I don't know what holiday you're celebrating. Let's just say it's Christmas. I know there's a lot of
other holidays.
We got like 3 going on right now, right? There's like, it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. But either way, yeah, a lot of holiday stuff, a lot of holiday parties going on right now.
Yes, everyone knows that December is the holiday time.
But there's so much of it's just like phony too, to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that with love, if that makes sense. It's phony. Like we force these gatherings, no matter what's going on in anyone's life. Like we need to be here, we need to be together. And some of that's family, you want to reconnect. And I get it. But sometimes life isn't exactly peaceful at home, and you find yourself in a situation where you're kind of forced into a situation that you wouldn't normally go to, right? If this was just like a gathering, you would totally miss it. But since it's Christmas, we all feel obligated. I feel this duty to show up.
Right.
And for a lot of people, they're just not quite there yet. And so you kind of feel forced into these situations, and it's urgent. And I know that we're a week away right now, so maybe this should have been published a month ago, but I think I can still help. But anyway, back to like the original question, as people ask, what can you do? It makes me angry and irritated for you, if that makes sense. Like I'm not mad at people that ask that question. That's a completely valid question.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm irritated at the other person because it's not your mess to mop
fix.
up. This isn't your mess to mop up. This could be fixed. Like the key to all of this lies with the person that has betrayed trust, the person that has caused the chaos. It lies with guys like me that did the stuff that I did.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense to me. Well, okay, all this could be made right if they would just apologize.
Right.
But there's a million childish reasons that people won't do it. Some of it's childish, some of it's real, but either way, I don't care. I don't really care. And listen, I want this to be one of those types of episodes that you can share out to people. And so if I'm speaking to a substance user, I want you to know that if I seem irritated, I'm not irritated with you. It's just the situation in total because I'm on the other side of it. Listen, I've been where you're at. You haven't been where I'm at. So I'm speaking to you with love as someone who's been on the other side of this. And I think of myself, not any one person. So I want to shake myself because I've had these thoughts. I've had these feelings. I think it's very natural in the beginning that you want to recover in quiet. You want to keep this thing to yourself. You want to keep this thing to the four walls of your own home, and you don't want to really share it. The holidays don't afford you that luxury. They just don't, because the holidays are about family. It's about camaraderie. It's about celebration. It's about a lot of things. One thing it's not about your shame. It's not about you. It's not about you. This is about everyone else. And so it's a really good chance for you to practice showing up for other people and doing something and getting out of yourself and doing something selfless for the first time in probably a long time if you're anything like me. So I apologize in advance. If I get a little heated and passionate about this, it's because I believe strongly in what I'm talking about, not because I'm angry at anyone. So I don't want to lose anyone thinking this guy's a complete ass. I'm not. I'm someone who's been there before. So please just understand that. Just preface all of this shit with that, at least.
Okay.
But I would like for it to be shareable. I would like for this to be forwarded. I would like this for this to get out.
This is based on your newsletter from this week, right?
Yeah. So I write a blog and a newsletter, which I didn't mention in the open. I mentioned enough things. Good Lord, how did I forget this one? Freaking waste.
I know. I think you spent 7 minutes this time.
Wasted 7 minutes of people's time and forgot to mention a newsletter.
No, it's okay.
I've been writing it for a year now. I publish it every week. You can go to our website, go to the blog, and I've got this one posted in particular, and it's about this very thing. And it's kind of comprehensive, like runs down like basically the outline of this episode, but our beliefs on a lot of things, not just with the holidays, but a lot of things when it comes to accountability and my role in righting the wrongs that happened here, right? My role in all of this.
Which is the majority of it.
Yeah. And personally, we didn't go through a lot of this. We didn't go, like I've had the thoughts, don't get me wrong, but I didn't put you through hell with this.
No, you didn't. And I think that, so we did not have any of the issues around the holidays within my family dynamics, either before, during, or after, because when you got sober, you did something very meaningful and very powerful without me even asking you to do it. And I honestly don't even remember you doing it, but I know that you did it, is that you went to my family on your own and you talked to them about what you had done and you apologized and you made amends and you took accountability. You did that. You did a very hard thing that a lot of people don't realize is necessary. But I think that that's what helped get us through a lot of the holidays after you got through anything with our family after you got sober and into recovery.
I did. It was important to me that, like I said, I didn't want to recover in silence. And that's what a lot of people tend to do. It feels shameful that you've struggled with a substance. It feels shameful that you've lied or that you've been caught cheating or that you've put your hands on somebody or that you've been arrested or you're in treatment. I get it. But there's no shame allowed in recovery. That stuff is going to be the foundation on which you build something beautiful. This is what we call the alchemy of recovery. Alchemy is taking this completely useless substance like lead and making it into gold. It's turning something ugly into something beautiful. But you have to start by acknowledging the ugly. You have to acknowledge these things. You have to take accountability for these things before we go anywhere else. So I think that the reluctance comes from people looking at what they've done and then saying, I did these things, because it does affect your identity as a person. And I think that there's even studies that have been run on this, which I will include in the show notes because I don't want to sit here and run through every single study. But it does affect your psychology when you take ownership of stuff, because in saying that I did these things, I'm saying that I am these things, and it affects your self-esteem. It affects the way you see yourself. It affects your ego. It affects a lot of things. What I'm saying is I don't care. I don't care. You need to be humbled a bit. You need to take accountability, and these things are supposed to hurt a little bit so you don't do them again. But it's not about us. It's not about me. It's about everyone else. It's about the other people that we've harmed along the way. And how must they be feeling, right? If someone had done this stuff to me, how would I want that to be made right? And so I made the decision early on to talk to family.
Right, but it wasn't just to apologize on my, like, because of what it's not, you don't just have to take accountability for the things that you did to me. You took accountability because I was their child. I was part of their family, and you did not like how you treated me as their family member.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily all the things you did to them specifically. Right. It's what you did to me that harmed them because they're my family.
That's an important distinction you made. You're right, because it's like AA, for instance, like 12-step. It's kind of tricky whenever we get to the like apologies piece, the amends piece, because it's like you make amends to people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. So in theory, a lot of people can kind of twist this and say, well, you don't necessarily have to apologize for people that you didn't affect directly. And some people spin it that way. The way I looked at it was just, this is about ruthless and total ownership. And so if I had hurt you, how would I feel if I was your father? How would I feel if I was your mother? How would I feel if I was your grandparent? And that's the perspective that I took going into it. Did I necessarily owe them an apology? I believe I did, yes. Depending on who you ask, maybe you don't. But this is just my stance, and I think I'm right about this. I think I'm right. And fight me, argue. I don't care. I agree with this stance, is that let's say that it's my daughter. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you've got your own kids. How would you feel about your daughter dating you? How would you feel about your daughter and your beautiful, precious grandchildren being driven around in a car with someone drunk? How would you feel about them being with someone who doesn't have their best interest in mind? How do you feel about someone draining their finances that affects their future? Maybe the way that if they're able to go to college or not. How do you feel about the verbal abuse that might be going on in that home? Let's say it was your child. How would you feel? So that's the way I looked at it from the very beginning, was like, for a pure empathy standpoint, how would I approach this? And I will say this, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I was so scared. I was scared. I felt like I was volunteering information that if I didn't volunteer, nothing would change and everything would be okay. But it wasn't about me anymore. It was about other people.
It was other people.
And it was also about you. It was about letting you know how serious I am about this.
Right.
And so when I approach these types of conversations, I think a proper apology has 4 parts. It's what I did was wrong, so we acknowledge the thing. I feel badly that I hurt you. What can I do to make this right? And is there anything that I haven't addressed that I need to know about? And I did that with everybody in my own way, right? It wasn't like robotic like that. I went fishing with your dad.
Yeah, it wasn't robotic.
And I was so chicken shit about it. I went out there with the express purpose of apologizing to him. I remember we went out and we shot guns and we were fishing at his ranch and had a good time. And we had a really great conversation, just a heart to heart. And I think even at one point, like, he told me he was proud of me. And I was like, you ever, like, when you're young, like, you want to ask a girl out, you're thinking about it like the whole time, and then you don't do it, and you get home, you're like, what's wrong with me? What I did? So we spend the whole day together, and then I drive off, and I'm like, oh, you were such a puss. Why didn't you just say something? And so I'm on like the gravel road leaving the ranch, and I call him. I'm like, hey, I should have said this, and I've been worried about this since I got up this morning, but I need to make something right with you. I need to talk to you about all the years that I was in active addiction, and I put your grandkids in danger. I wasn't loyal to your daughter, and I didn't cheat, but I mean loyal in the sense that I broke trust. I betrayed trust. Mm-hmm. That I wasn't the man that I promised, that I wasn't the man that I'm capable of. And I want to let you know that I know I've done wrong, and I will do everything in my power for the rest of my life to make that right. And I need to know if there's anything that I've done to you that I'm not aware of. And he was taken aback by it. He was like, this is weird. This is awkward. I really do. I think that he was like, okay. Like, and I remember what he said. He was kind of paused, and he was like, well, not necessary, but I appreciate it more than you know. And he's like, we're all so proud of you, and we see the changes in you, and we just want you to keep it up.
Yeah, it was the living amends part. It wasn't the actual going to say anything.
No.
But I know that meant a lot to the people that you did that with.
Yeah, and I've said it in I think more than one way, and over the years to your mom and stepdad, mm-hmm. and to anyone that's like directly related to us that is affected by this thing. And so that's what it's about. Like, when the holidays were coming around, I wanted everyone to know that I was wearing this thing on my chest, and I wasn't just I was wearing it proudly. Yes, I did these things, and yes, watch me make it right. I don't care about what I did. What's important is what I'm going to do. There is hope. There is hope that you can repair relationships, but guess what? Nothing gets better if you just do nothing.
Right. But I also want to make people aware that just because there is an apology doesn't mean that it's going to be accepted immediately either.
That's
there
true.
are some things where it's like, okay, I appreciate the apology, but
I'm just not there yet.
But yeah. And that's probably one of the scariest things that somebody has to go through when they are making amends. But I think it's still necessary to go through it, to at least see where you're at and see what you have to do and see if it's a relationship that you have to repair or if it's not,
There's going to be some things that have been done that they might be non-negotiables for people.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes the apology any less important, though.
Right. I agree.
Even if they listen, like anything could happen when you go to apologize to somebody or make things right and take accountability. Most of the time, though, they're going to give you a huge teary-eyed hug and tell you how proud of you they are. That's the most common outcome.
Right.
But there are outside situations that could happen, like on the tail end of the distribution curve, where you might catch a stray left hook to the jaw. You might get berated. You might get told that you're a scumbag and never want to see you around here again. And in those cases, you hang your head and you say, okay, I just wanted you to know where I'm at with this.
But that's not that other person's fault either. That's their own issues that they are dealing with, and they're just not ready for it. So it's not something to help, or it's not something to make you spiral out of control or go down that, super shame path. It's more of just like, all right, I did my piece. I did what I needed to do. Now I need to continue moving on and understand that that person is just not ready for it right now. And that's okay. And that's going to be hard.
It is. I don't think it should mean that you don't say something, though.
Right. No, I agree with that.
If you're trying to figure this thing out as a couple in recovery, this is part of the deal.
Yeah.
This is part of the deal. I don't know how you could continue a relationship by just not acknowledging it. I don't even see how that's possible. Like, we're just going to pretend none of this shit happened. You're going to show up to my mom's house on Christmas Day and we're going to pretend. Like, there's something, there was a creator, and I cannot remember the name, but referred to it as dishonest harmony.
Yeah, I was looking for that term earlier.
It's really common around the holidays. Families that are incredibly dysfunctional gather for Christmas, and we all act like we're the family from Full House,
Oh, that's such a good family.
We're just picture perfect and everything is great, but we were, we scream at each other. One of us is suing the other, and we've had knockdown dragouts all year and hateful text messages slung back and forth. There are families that operate that way. There are.
Well, there are many times where many of us are raised to say, all right, let's put all of our shit aside for today and let's just let things be.
Awkward.
I have a big issue with that. I've had a big issue with that since I was, fucking born. Let's be real, Matt. Like, how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I'm not gonna just put things aside just because this is supposed to be another special day. No, things need to be addressed. If you don't address it, there's never a good time to address it, but if you never address it, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And every year is going to be even more awkward. And then you don't even know where you're going to turn up, how it's going to be.
Yeah. I think if you don't, you also you run the risk of, having whatever narrative is out there stay out there. You don't know what's been said. You don't know how people feel. You don't know what the perception is. And here's another thing I think is incredibly unfair. This is incredibly unfair for spouses and partners, is when someone's in treatment, spouses and partners are often very protective of that person because they know your background, they know your story, they know how much you've been through, and they shield people from what they really deserve to hear. Mm-hmm. They run these amazing PR campaigns, these marketing campaigns to tell people, oh, things are getting better and he's doing so great. When we all know you ain't. No, you haven't really changed much of anything. You're not doing anything that you said you would do, but they're trying to make you look good because they want the family to see you in the same light that they see you. And they don't want to rock the boat, and they don't want to make things more difficult, and they don't want to hammer in more on your shame because God forbid you get into shame and then you relapse, and that's dangerous for your recovery. So they go through so much to ensure that everything is going to be okay. They try so freaking hard. Would you just make them right for once? Just say something to make them right? Do anything, right? It's so freaking unfair. And quickly, why people avoid accountability? There's fear. And I know what that feels like the day at the ranch. I was so scared. Making amends with people was the scariest thing I did. It felt so incredibly awkward, and I wasn't sure what they would bring up that I wasn't already aware of. And you don't know if someone's going to railroad you or get mad.
You have no idea what the scenario is going to be.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's not just fear of that. It's the fear of judgment and the fear of the shame that you'll feel when you come out with this, because like I said, is when you say this stuff, it becomes real. I did these things. And if you're not careful, you'll start to think I am these things.
Okay. You've said this before. You said it earlier, and I'm just going to bring this up for just a moment. You like to say that shame is not part of recovery. And I think it is part of recovery. You have to feel shame you have to get through your shame. Just like we discussed with Dr. Porter a couple weeks ago. It's like, you have to go through that shame. You need to feel these feelings in order to recover and get through it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I need to find a better way to word that.
I know that what you're saying is like, it just doesn't mean that's who you are. Shame doesn't mean that's who you are. What you're feeling, what you've done, it doesn't mean who you are. I know that that's important in people's recovery to know that that's not who you are, but that you can always change and shift it around. But we keep trying to protect people from shame, and we're doing them a disservice when we protect them from shame.
You're absolutely right.
Shame is extremely important to get through anything. That means that you're doing something that goes against your values and you need to correct it. It sucks. It's a shitty feeling. Nobody likes to feel that feeling. But if you use it in the right way, it's a powerful emotion. We don't need to be shielding people from that. In order to take accountability for the things that you've done, you're going to feel shame, but it's okay. Don't tell people it's not okay to feel shame. It's okay to feel that way. Own it, deal with it, move forward and fix it.
So let's frame it this way.
Okay.
Shame is an incredibly powerful driver of change.
Yes.
And it is necessary to feel in the beginning, because if you don't feel it, you're not going to do anything different. Like when people come to me and they're like, I've lost everything and things are horrible, I don't feel bad for you. I'm like, good, maybe that'll get you sober.
Yeah, you're a good sponsor when it comes to that shit.
I will love people where they're at. I will support them, but at the same time, I won't shield you
You're not
from
going
the
to coddle
natural
them.
consequences of actions and whatnot. It's important to get you to the point where you're ready to make a difference. At that point, once you've owned it and said, I'm willing to walk through fire and change this, shame just becomes part of your story. It should no longer be your state of emotion. I think it gets you to the door, but it doesn't carry you forward. I think at some point it doesn't do much good. I think guilt is what replaces it. And guilt is powerful too.
Yeah.
And I think guilt is a healthy thing to have. I think you should feel guilty when you do bad things. I think you should. I think once you're in recovery though, and I mean recovery, like doing the emotional work for emotional sobriety, not just removing a substance. There's a huge fucking difference.
Yeah.
Once you're doing that work, what reason do you have to feel constant shame? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like not something you ought to carry around.
Right.
all
You
the
don't
time.
carry around. That's what I'm saying. You use it as a drive for change. Like when I do something and I feel shame, I'm like, oh, this is awful. I don't sit in it though. You don't allow yourself to sit in it for too long. You just you question it, you write about it, you focus on what can I do differently? What do I need to do to make this right? What do I need to do? It's a reframe. You use it in a different way. We've looked at shame as such a negative thing, but it's really not. It can be so fucking powerful when used properly.
Yeah.
And I think as spouses and partners, and I see it all the time where they're just like, oh, they just feel so much shame. They just feel so much shame, and that's why they do what they do. They have to feel that shame, but they need to do it in a way that's going to be beneficial for them. And as a partner and spouse, it isn't our job to throw it in their face, right? It's not for us to be like, you dumbass, look what you did. This is so messed up, and that's not right either. But it's holding somebody accountable by actions, by talking to them in a normal tone, having conversations and taking actions, setting boundaries, holding people accountable. That's what's powerful. It's not just like, talking down to them like this and telling them they're such a terrible person and look what they've done. Like, no, that's not nice. Nobody wants to feel that way. You don't want to bring out the shame in them, but you do need to hold them accountable for their actions. And that will make them feel shame.
I know everyone's different, but I was always the type of person that if you really rip into me, I'm going to hold that and process that, and I will never forget it. And I feel shame in those moments, but I remember that stuff and I don't do it again.
Right.
Right.
And we'll lash out at first, right?
Sure.
When we feel that shame or when we feel these big emotions, we're going to be like, I need to just let this out in a mean way. But then we own it. We get better at it. We try to figure out how to fix it. And then we don't want to feel that way again, or we don't want to do that thing again.
Yeah.
But we will feel that way. We have to feel that way in our life. We're not perfect. We're fucking humans. We're not robots.
Right.
So quit trying to take away these emotions from people. You're doing them a disservice by not holding them accountable.
Yeah. And if you're scared because of the shame, there's been a lot said about toxic masculinity in the last, I don't know, decade or so.
Yeah.
And men get hated on a lot, and the words man up and stuff like that are trying to be canceled from our vocabulary.
We used that word yesterday.
I think that this is a situation where you need to man up. You need to apologize. You need to make that right. You need to suck it up and deal with it. Mm-hmm. You need to make that right. And there's no other way around it. The only way through, or the only way out, is through. Last thing about shame is like what Dr. Porter had said. It was profound. He said, the story isn't nearly as important as the story that you tell yourself about the story. So if you've done some terrible things, it's not the terrible things that matter. It's the story that you get to tell yourself about those terrible things. That's the alchemy of recovery. That is how spouses get through this when they don't get the option to reconcile and they have to walk through something essentially grieving when someone doesn't get any better and they can't hold on any longer. This is how people who've done terrible things in their life, like I have, get through it. This is how we get through it. It's the story I tell myself about my story, because the story today is I learned so much from that stuff. I learned so much from the mistakes that I made. They don't define me because I write the story. I get to determine what that means. You get to as well. It's just a matter of, are you going to tell yourself a story of, oh, I screwed up, why bother? Or are you going to fight and try to make this stuff right?
Yeah.
It's not fair at all. And it drives me crazy when, and I don't use that lightly when saying not fair. Yeah, life's not fair. Welcome to life.
Right.
This is just cruel, in my opinion. If you are going to leave your spouse in limbo without making that right with the family, you know how much they've been through up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just give them one win? This could be it. This could be the win that you give them, is picking up the phone and saying, hey, do you have a moment? I've got some things I need to discuss with you.
Can we go back to the amends process real quick?
Sure.
Because it goes along with all of this. You say that during that step, you don't have to apologize for things that may harm someone else.
That's correct.
Or what? Okay.
That's the way it's written.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just for 12 step, but yeah.
Right. But this is in the 12 steps part. And it always irked me. Like, I feel like, why do you get to pick and choose what you apologize for? I mean, honestly, shouldn't the other person, even then, you apologized for things that I didn't even know you did.
So this can kind of get interesting and sort of fun to think about, like, you know, like from a philosophical, moral standpoint.
Okay.
Just think about it like this.
Okay.
Let's say that you worked a job some years ago and you stole from them. Let's say that you worked for like a gold smelter, and like you were taking a little every day. You know, you were taking a couple pieces of gold and you would like cash it in or whatever, basically stealing from work. And I don't know what is happening right now.
Oh, you didn't put yourself on.
Sincere apologies
you didn't
for the crazy noises that you're hearing.
Do not disturb. And you were worried about the mower outside.
My nephew is calling me and I apologize.
Oh, hold on. I got okay. There it goes. We're good. I don't even know if that popped up on there. It probably did. Okay. Anyway. So if you were talking about like if you were at another job and you were stealing whatever.
Gold or something like that.
Yeah.
And let's say that was like 4 or 5 years ago when you were drinking, and now that you're sober and you're trying to get sober, do you go back and tell your previous employer that you've stolen?
I mean,
okay, well, so that's one instance. What about?
Can it not just be fucking common sense here? Like, why is it so difficult to understand what to apologize for?
What if you had just not done your taxes properly? Would you call the IRS and be like, I actually owe you about $4,000 because I didn't actually have a hobby business when I said I did, or kept these or these are fake receipts, right? So I mean, what about? Okay, it's more complicated than you think. What about? Let's talk about an affair.
This is not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is personal shit.
What if you had slept with someone else?
Okay.
Would you, and your wife didn't know about it? Would you tell your wife?
You fucking better.
Okay, I agree with that. Let's go a step further. Would you tell the other guy?
What other guy?
The person you cheated with. Would you tell?
Were they if they were
husband?
together? Nah.
See, it's like, oh, okay, this gets rather ambiguous very quickly.
But I feel like people can, and this is my beef with some of the step process anyway, is that a lot of it is not interpreted in the way that you interpreted it. I was very grateful in the way that you did things. You thought outside the box, but a lot of the things within the steps, it's just like very rigid, and people will take advantage of that.
Some people need rigid though.
Okay, I understand that. Rigid. No, but they need more like, no, MFer, you need to go apologize for this stuff. Even if you feel like...
I think common sense prevails. I think if you've had stuff like that going on, like reach out to someone who's been there before, who's got some advice on this. My advice is use common sense.
What, with amends and apologies and stuff?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might listen to this and think that, oh, they don't really need to apologize to my family.
That's exactly it, because I didn't affect them. I didn't do anything to them, but you kind of did. Here's the thing about a family, right? It's not just about the direct effect to that family, because when you're part of a family, it's something bigger than sitting at dinner with 4 or 5 people. There are values shared by families. There are barriers to entry for families. In order to gain acceptance to a family, many times there is this sort of like courting process that takes place where they get to know you. And a lot of families have influence on who gets to be around and who doesn't, right? It's more than just, I marry you and now that's like my family. Like, it's not a guarantee necessarily that I get to be part of that family.
Well, it shouldn't be. I think that people need to own their shit.
So when you've done something that affects the fabric of that family, I believe personally that you owe it to that family to let them know, I value being part of your tribe. I recognize where I've gone wrong, and this is what I'm willing to do to make that right. Plus anything that you would suggest that I can do to make this right.
Yeah. And yeah, I think what you did was beautiful. I don't think a lot of people get that within their relationships.
I don't exactly know, but I hope that there are more of them after this episode releases. I hope that there are some people out there who get that, because you don't see the messages I see. You don't hear from them like I hear from them. There are so many people this Christmas who are unsure of what to do. They don't know if they need to invite their spouse or if they don't. Because if they don't, then suddenly you feel left out, like you're unsupported. And if that triggers shame, then you're going to relapse. So they feel responsible for that. They also feel a duty and responsibility to their family of origin and their own values, because guess what? They agree with their family. You screwed up badly. They just don't want to rock the boat any more than they have to. And here's what's really screwed up is that a spouse and a partner is responsible for fixing it, you're telling me? But they're a victim like everyone else, more so even. But yet the burden is on them somehow to make this right, because you're too chicken shit to stand up and say, I'm sorry.
Go off, babe.
That's not right. It drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
When people do this. Quit being a coward. And I get a bit irritated with spouses that do go to great lengths to protect people, because you think you're protecting someone's reputation. You think you're protecting them in some ways. You're protecting them from shame or the horrible things that they might feel whenever this gets out. Let them.
They're also protecting themselves. And this is probably a part that you don't fully comprehend.
Learns me.
Is that they may not feel comfortable discussing certain things because they don't want to feel judged. They don't want to feel like, their family might have said, oh, we told you so, or we didn't know it was that bad and you need to get the fuck out, or you need to do, there's a lot of judgment that goes in from us too. So we have to go in and play a part of like, no, everything's okay. Everything's fine.
Do you think that that's healthy?
No, it's not. I don't think it's healthy. I'm just saying I understand where that's from, where it comes from.
You make a great point.
But also I understand that some people are not safe to tell about what's going on in your world.
Oh, like you've got that like mouthy aunt or something.
Maybe there's just some people who are going to say, you know what? You just need to suck it up and deal with it. You just need to figure this out. They just need to be loved more. You just need to, be there for your husband or your partner who is struggling. Some of those people aren't safe because that's not necessarily true. They're still not listening to the partner or spouse that's having struggles within their relationship, who might be there where there's betrayal, where there's lies, where they're maybe mentally and emotionally abused.
So you think that there are families out there where if someone were to come forward, then it would open up a can of worms that maybe you don't even want opened at all.
Exactly.
So then what do you do?
That's why you can be honestly, you can be vague but honest, and just say, hey, we've got stuff going on right now that we're dealing with, and I'll let you know if I need anything. Or, you can keep it very vague. You don't have to give too many details unless it's somebody that you truly trust.
Yeah, I like that. Vague but honest.
Yeah.
You don't have to cue people in on
everything.
Every single detail.
No. But if you're doing it to protect your partner, that isn't a way of enabling. But this is what I was talking about in the beginning, how this is so complicated. There's so much more that just goes into this than what you think that is just the partner's job. Like we're trying to figure out how to approach this ourselves, because like I said, there are some people who aren't safe that you can't talk to this about unless it's your therapist. Go to therapy. Talk to your therapist. Therapy helped me wonders through holidays, through dysfunctional holidays. So do that. But when it comes to your family, it's hard. It's really hard.
It gets pretty complicated pretty quick.
Yeah. And you can listen to our episode from last year when we talked about holidays and how to navigate them a little bit. I think that we did discuss a little bit about this. Not necessarily the accountability piece, but just like what to do in, it's okay to not go to a situation that you're not comfortable in, or if you do go to a situation, here's how you handle it a little bit. It's just, it is one of those things where a lot of situations are different, and there are a lot of different scenarios out there that a lot of people struggle with differently.
Yeah.
So that could be like, you could almost go down an episode for each freaking scenario.
Different scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll know in your heart when the situation's right where you can have these kinds of conversations. Yeah, you're right. You don't have to divulge every single detail to everybody. I'm thinking in terms of where everyone has been, like, I guess this situation, I'm thinking of, and let me know if you disagree.
Okay.
Where,
I will.
Let's say that a woman and her family are close, mm-hmm. and everyone basically knows. They don't know all of it, but they know.
Right.
And she doesn't know how to approach them when it comes to having him over for New Year's or Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And he's not really sure if he wants to be over there because he doesn't know how they feel. And she's stuck in the middle between all of this.
That's on him.
And she's trying to broker this deal where it's like, how do I fix it? Once again, a spouse thinking themselves, I have to fix this.
How do I manage this?
When my thing has always been, you don't have to fix shit.
No,
it's
you don't.
Job.
But what if he doesn't fix it, Matt? What if he does not stand up and go and say and apologize? What if he doesn't do what needs to be done to at least try to smooth things over?
That's my thing. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like, what has possessed you to be such a little bitch about this? Where you can't stand up and say, I'm sorry? That is insane to me.
Because
crazy. Who are you?
I don't know.
You can't take responsibility. What are you scared of? Accountability is a beautiful thing.
It really is. It is.
It's freeing.
Like, we know what they're scared of.
There's no shame involved. It is free. It will free you from yourself. And there are studies that show there are psychological benefits, not detriments, benefits to not apologizing. Because it's better for your sense of self and your self-image and your ego and your self-esteem.
So you're protecting yourself from
at the expense of everyone else. Yes, there's studies that back this up. There are other ones that say that there's a ton to be said about accountability and how freeing it is. I'm speaking from experience here. There's nothing more freeing than being able to look the world in the eye with no secrets and say, yep, here I am.
Well, I think it's
doing the deal.
Dangerous that you just said that there's a psychological benefit of not apologizing.
Well, it makes sense. That's why so many people do it, because what do we do as humans? We do what's comfortable.
We would do what's comfortable. We don't want to feel those uncomfortable feelings, which, by the way, they're just uncomfortable feelings. It doesn't mean they're a bad feeling. There's no bad, good feelings. Feelings are just feelings. We need to stop fucking judging our feelings and just deal with them and move through them and try to just be a human.
Just be a human.
Just be human. But what if they don't apologize? That's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking to many spouses and partners. What their partner does is out of their control.
It is.
So what can they do to control this situation for themselves if their partner is not willing to apologize?
Forward on this episode.
You're trying to make somebody do something that they're not going to fucking do.
I wouldn't spend more than 2 seconds around someone that wouldn't take that kind of accountability.
Okay, so you're
Personally,
basically
that's me.
saying, and I
That's
would,
a deal breaker
okay,
for me.
I agree with this. This is how I feel as well. I believe that this is a very good opportunity for you to question your relationship and see how you want to move forward with it. Do you want to be with somebody who is not going to hold themselves accountable? Like, that's just how basic it really is. If you go down to it all, like, are you going to be okay with somebody who's never going to take accountability?
No. How
No,
could
you
be?
can't. I mean, if you are, then that's fine. Learn how to manage it and deal with it, and go do your own thing. But that was not our experience. Matt has, oh my God, ever since that you've gotten sober and been in recovery, your accountability is fucking incredible. Like, you are amazing. You will apologize when you need to apologize, even when I know it fucking hurts. Like, you're better at it than I am.
Way better.
You're so good at it. You're so good at it. But I mean, I own my shit when I do things. You know this, I do. But like, I don't think I could be with somebody who wouldn't, just do this thing that is really important to me. Like, hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. I'm sorry I said little bitch earlier. That wasn't nice. I know there's a lot of reasons that people are scared to apologize. Believe me, not everyone is built the
You
same.
told people up front that you were going to get passionate about
I
this.
was, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean it the way I said it. What I meant to say was, how could you be such a coward when so much is on the line here?
And it's not to shame you
It's
either.
not to shame you.
It's
I
to
think
like,
this is the path to rebuilding trust. I guarantee you want that. If you want trust, this is the first step. This is it.
if you want your relationship to work, you have to do these things. You have more of the responsibility to make things right
Yeah, I've
than the
always said
partner
it's like
spouse. 90-10.
I've said it's like 90%. It was like 90% on me. So
But as a partner and a spouse who's going through this, if they are not willing to own their part, it's time to question it. You don't want to, it's just, you have to. It's not good for your safety.
you think about downstream how that trait can show up in other ways. That is a terrible quality to have in a person that doesn't want to take accountability. I don't know if there's a marriage out there that's survived for 50 years where people haven't taken some kind of accountability unless they're just miserable. And there's a lot of folks out there that are miserable, but is that what you want to be? Do you want to be on your deathbed thinking about how you should have spent your life and the people you should have spent it with? Is that what you want to do? Not what I would want to do.
Accountability is a value of ours.
Yeah. And I think about downstream, what else comes up in life where you need to take accountability and won't. I don't think that I would argue you can't solve a basic issue in a marriage, much less a huge one like this, if you're not able to take accountability. If you're not able to do something beyond what's comfortable for you, because marriage sometimes is about self-sacrifice. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you do things because it's the right thing to do for your family or for your spouse when it doesn't make anything easier on you or more comfortable for you.
That took you a long time to learn, baby.
Thanks. But there are plenty of situations in marriage and in life and parenting where you have to do that. You have to set aside what you want and how you feel for other people.
Yeah.
And a good relationship, both people do that for each other at appropriate times. If one person's doing it and one person refuses, that's not someone I would want to spend any time with at all. I just wouldn't. Like, that for me is the biggest red flag of all time. Like, this is where we start to get into these narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah.
And if you look at the type of personality profile of someone who doesn't take accountability, it essentially describes like a narcissist.
Right. And here's the thing though, they might say the words. They might tell you all the story and say all these beautiful words that you've been wanting to hear.
Long text messages.
Yes, the long text messages of I'm so sorry, I love you so much. Let's just let this go. I'll be better. I promise. We've all heard it. We've all seen it. We've all been a part of it. It's the actions. Those words,
more than anything.
It's more than anything. It's the actions. The only, like, Matt used a lot of words out of recovery, but the only reason I trusted anything was because his actions were lining up with his words. And they kept lining up with his words, and it kept changing and it kept shifting. And it wasn't perfect, but I knew that it was different than it was before. If their words and actions aren't aligning, it's just words.
It's just words, man.
So they can call and they can apologize, right? But they still have to take the step forward of actually meaning it and doing the thing.
I think this is a theory of mine. Why I think a lot of people don't apologize or why they find it hard to apologize is because you're supposed to say sorry once.
Who taught you that?
I think you did.
I did.
Sorry.
I actually grew up with this.
Sorry you get to do once.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's you are not being intentional about the way you're treating other people, or you're being incredibly selfish and just doing it because you want to do it. And you don't care if you hurt me at this point.
Yes.
But either way, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, I remember now. When it comes to taking accountability, I think a lot of people are scared to take accountability because there's some sort of finality with that. And so if you go to someone's extended family and you say, listen, the way I acted was inexcusable and I am incredibly sorry and this will not happen again. I'm on a new path. You have to say that second part with the first part. You have to talk about what you're going to do different. And I think a lot of people like to leave themselves an out so they don't have to guarantee any outcomes and they don't have to promise, because then if I promise, then I have an extra layer of accountability built into myself. Remember, I made promises. I've done this. I've said what I'm going to do. And it's more stressful when you think about doing the wrong thing. It's easier to have as many outs as possible is what I'm saying.
Right.
As many exit ramps as you can possibly hit. It's easier to do that. Because I never said I wasn't going to ever do this. I never talked to them. I never said I was going to act right. I never said I wouldn't do this again. You know? And so if you don't make it real, then you never have to be held accountable to those standards that you set for yourself.
Right.
So it's almost like you set yourself a standard. I think a lot of people subconsciously don't want to put themselves in a position where they can be, pinned down and said that you said we would get something different. Or that's almost like they feel like they're going to jinx it if they do say it. Well, I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee I won't ever drink again. And for the record, I've never promised anyone I would never drink again.
Right.
The way my little peanut brain works is I just say I'm not drinking today. And it's been working for like over a decade. So I'm just going to keep doing that peanut brain thing because that works just fine.
A lot of people use that and they spin it though.
In what way?
I've seen it. Where they'll say I'm not promising I won't drink forever, and they actually mean that.
Oh yeah.
Like in a way.
I'll put it this way: I have no intention of ever drinking again.
Right.
I'm not
I know
drinking today.
I know your intentions. I know what
that.
it means. But I know that people who say that it's like, oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, and guess what? Like when we decided to start a podcast, and I decided to tell 500,000 people in the world, actually more than that now, that I'm in recovery. Guess what? Yeah, like I have 500,000 more reasons now not to pick up a fucking drink.
Doing this podcast is accountability for you.
It's actually a good thing if you think about it. It's a bad thing though if you're trying to fuck around. It's a bad thing if you're not done yet. It's a bad thing if you're trying to be sneaky. It's a bad thing if you want to leave yourself an out.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing then. But if you come out and say it, like, listen, I know anything could happen, but it won't if I keep doing what I'm doing that got me here.
Yeah.
That I have a stack of undeniable proof that says if I keep doing what I've been doing, then I'm going to be all right. And as life changes, I'll adjust that. I will go harder. I will never pull back from what I've been doing.
Right.
So as we get into the holidays, I know that this is a tricky time of year for a lot of people, and we've talked about accountability, but we've never talked about it like this. We've never talked about this apology that needs to happen. This wrong that needs to be righted. Is that right? Yeah, that's the right way to say that. That's how we have to. You're going to drive me nuts. Sit still. Sit still.
I know, seeing at your face, it cracks me up because I knew you were going to say something. I'm like, oh no, he hates it when I have to pee.
It's hard to focus because you're
like when bouncing. I'm in the car, when we're in the car and I'm in the front seat and I'm like, immediately, do you got to pee? Do you got to pee? I'm like, but yes.
I have to pee really bad right now too.
Well, your back hurts, so you can't jiggle like me.
I know you've had 2 kids. I get it. I'm sensitive to that. It's distracting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's really distracting.
We're getting to like the hour moment where I have to pee. It always happens at this time. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I have to go.
I just wanted to validate people that are going through this and feel like they have to fix it on your own. I'm telling you that is not your job. That is not your mess to clean up. You've done enough. You've been through enough. Why would this be your job to clean up to? Now, if you want to stand by someone's side, even though they've done some things that they're not proud of, and say, I stand with them while they recover, good for you. Good for you. And if people don't support you for that,
what do you mean?
If you guys are going to walk your path together, let's say that you want to stand by someone who makes an apology to your family.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And your family doesn't accept it, but you guys are walking the deal and you're doing it on your own and you're doing the right thing. Maybe they'll come around in time. That's on them. It's no longer on you because you've made it right. You've made it right with the world as far as you can. You can't control the outcomes, but you can control the input. And the input here would be doing that right thing. So it can be tricky, man. It can be tricky. It might be a Christmas different than others. You might be, might just be YouTube watching the Christmas Story on rerun on TNT.
That's not terrible.
40 times in a row. No.
And I told people that before too. If there's
honestly.
like a Christmas where you're just like, I'm not feeling it, it's okay. It doesn't mean it has to permanently be like that.
But if, this is my opinion, if you're with somebody that refuses to make this right, let them spend Christmas alone. How about that?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. Because
no, for sure.
What's right is right. And I don't know another way to say it that makes it sound profound. What's right is right. And what's right is making these things amicable again by doing something difficult and sacrificing your ego just one time, just once. When we've all had to sit here and go through hell, the least you can do is take a left hook from Uncle Jeff or whoever. Dude, bruise his heel. It ain't a big deal, man. You ever been punched before? It's not that bad.
No, I have
Nose
not.
hurts. Can't see. Blood goes everywhere. Jaw, as long as I don't catch you on the butt and you're all right. Just sore.
When have you been punched?
Been in a fight or two. I grew up with two brothers.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember that?
I remember you got in a big old brawl in high school too. Or it was like right after high school and y'all met at the high school in the parking lot.
I got the best of him on that.
There was
deal.
a whole bunch of people and I'm like, oh my God, why did I come to this?
Caught one straight punch being stupid. I was talking to someone about that recently. I don't even remember what we were fighting about.
Oh, there's no telling.
Idea.
I don't even remember who it was. I just remember.
I don't either.
I just remember it was a big ass group of people, and you all decided to meet up there, and they were having some like school function. So there were these people. There was parent, and they're like, "I'm calling the cops," and we're like, "Oh, we gotta get out of here, y'all." I was like such a goody back then that this was like, "Oh, what are we doing?" But it was still kind of cool. It was one of those like,
it's a good old fashioned scraps. What that was. It was fun. But anyway. Last thing I'll say, it's about the delusion of loyalty. Kind of alluded to this earlier, but you stopped me with a really good point.
Okay.
If you're protecting someone who's unwilling to do the right thing, you might think that you're being loyal, but that's not loyalty. That is the delusion of loyalty. Yeah. That is an illusion that you are being loyal to someone who is being disloyal. That is not the right thing to do here. You don't protect people that don't do the right things. You're harboring someone that doesn't agree with your values for no other reason than you don't want to be left alone or you don't want to face the truth. But the truth is already there. It's there. I mean, it is what it is. You can put a bow on a pig and call it something else, but it's a pig. It is what it is.
I like pigs.
They're adorable. I don't like eating pork too much, honestly.
No, we don't. Mm-mm.
Usually because it ain't cooked right. Then pork chops are the best. But anyway, I think if you think you're being loyal to someone by supporting them when in fact they're doing nothing, and you're really just supporting disloyalty, you're enabling bad behavior. You're enabling cowardice. You're enabling this type of thing. Let them know you don't have to face anything difficult because I'll stand by you no matter what.
Right.
We've always been here to challenge couples to hold each other accountable. That's what we do. That's what we've done. That's what worked for us. And I think that I would put our marriage up against anybody's in the world. Period. If there was a competition for marriages, I would enter and say, I think we'll win this thing. I would do that. We support each other. We support each other to standards. There is a bar that you have to meet. We both agree on it and we hold each other to that bar. If you're here and they're down here and the bar is on the floor, essentially, that's a one-way relationship. I'm sure it's wonderful for them, but how's it working for you? And that will always be the question that I ask people is you can argue with me all you want about, well, they've been through a lot and we're still working through it. And how's it working for you?
Right.
How's it working for you? Probably not well.
And the longer you enable it, like you were talking about with loyalty or whatnot, you're letting them know it's okay for them to do what they're doing. And that's been the biggest part for a spouse and partner. Like when we talk about parts and what is your part, it's typically those things. It's the things of like allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
It's allowing it. It's allowing it. And it's not.
Which isn't as bad as doing it.
No.
But it's still not making the problem better.
No. But it's that's you. You have more control than you think you do. Like you have more power within this than you think you do. And I'm not talking about the power over them. It's the power over your situation and what you're going to do with it and how you deal with it. And enabling them is just allowing them to control you even longer.
Yeah, and control that entire
and control
narrative.
All of it, and they are going to keep doing what they're doing, and that doesn't mean that it's your part, obviously they're the ones making the decisions and the choices, but
Right.
for you, you've got to protect yourself. And that means not enabling.
Last thing I will say, is there such a thing as a get out of jail free card here? Yes, there is. If you are in a situation and it is just hectic and you've been through hell and you need to have a normal Christmas night, pretend like everything's okay, do it. Enjoy yourself. We can deal with this next week, okay? If you just need, or the week after next, I should say, because this will come out before Christmas.
Yes.
But if you're in a situation where it's like, I just need to pretend for a night, let's not make that a habit, but that's fine. If you just need to get through the week because you need this, because it's been a hell of a year, fine. I just want you to know, and don't forget that emotions buried alive never die. They don't die. They will come back. It has to be dealt with at some point.
Yeah.
So put it off for a week, fine. We'll just pay interest on it later. But I understand if that's what you need to do. I'm not criticizing anyone that feels like that's what they need to do. Do what you need to do. The advice that we give here is just, these aren't even advice. I hope it's not advice all the time. It's just, these are our thoughts. This is our opinions on things. It's our experience in working through this stuff and together, like personally, but also with other people. So take what you want, leave the rest. You know, I hope it's been an enjoyable conversation at the very least.
You have had a lot of recovery talk this episode.
I think that's
Can I just tell you that?
That's a helpful thing for anyone, period, right? Like, I don't love everything McDonald's, or maybe I do. I had a double fish sandwich the other day. Did you know
Ooh,
that?
I don't like the double fish filet o fish.
It's more of a good thing. I don't know.
You liked it?
I don't like everything a restaurant serves, but I wouldn't say I dislike a restaurant because I dislike a couple things in the menu, right? I'm not going to say the Force is ugly because they got a couple wonky trees in it.
Yeah, I know.
So,
it's just that one.
When it comes to our stuff, listen, you don't have to love it all, but I think there's some great takeaways, all right? You all right?
Okay.
You stop shaking.
You gave me shit. You made me feel shame, Matt. I had to do something about it. What did we just talk about? But you didn't make me feel shame. That was on my own. See, we could have a whole conversation on that, but no, I'm good. I think that you scared it out of me, but not literally, just the shakes.
Okay. Or you just peed in the floor. And
I did not. I'm good.
We'll find out. All right. Until next time, I am Matt.
I'm Paige.
And we'll see you.
Bye.